Rain poured down in heavy sheets, turning the prairie into a sea of mud and reeds. Mara leaned against the wooden post of the small cabin, trembling, blood seeping through her skirts. Her twin newborns cried weakly in her arms, hungry and frightened. She had been running for days, fleeing the men who had attacked her home and taken everything she loved. Her husband was dead, her family scattered, and now she had nothing but the two fragile lives she was desperately trying to protect. Her strength was fading. Each step, each breath was heavier than the last. Mara sank to her knees, pressing the bobbies to her chest, murmuring soothing words she barely believed herself. "It's okay, Mama's here, we'll be safe." She didn't notice him at first, only the soft sound of hooves against the soaked earth. Then a shadow appeared through the rain, tall, broad, moving with a confidence that seemed impossible in the storm. A warrior. He dismounted, water dripping from his long, dark hair. His eyes were sharp, but they softened the moment he saw her and the twins. "Are you hurt?" he asked, voice low, calm, and commanding. Mara shook her head, though the pain was evident in every trembling muscle. I'm fine. Please leave me be." The warrior knelt beside her, gently lifting one of the bobbies. "No, you are not safe here. You cannot stay like this." She recoiled at first, unsure if she could trust a stranger. But something in his presence, steady and unwavering, made her hesitate before rejecting him outright. I can't," she whispered. "They will." "They will not touch you again," he interrupted firmly. "I will see to that." He examined her wounds with careful hands, not roughly, but with precision and respect. Mara winced as he cleaned the blood from her arms, then wrapped her and the twins in a warm blanket he had brought from his horse. "Who are you?" she asked finally, voice quivering. "I am Kiona's son," he said simply, "and now you and these children are under my protection." Mara stared at him, not understanding. I don't understand." "You are mine to protect," he said. "Do you understand that?" Tears ran down her face. She had not felt safety in weeks, maybe months. Here, in the pouring rain, beside a man who looked capable of holding the storm itself, she finally felt it. I think I understand," she whispered. He lifted the bobbies carefully, checking each one. "They are strong," he said, "because they have their mother's blood, and soon they will have a father who will defend them." Mara shook her head. I cannot ask you to." "You do not ask," he said. "I offer, and you accept, or I will not leave you here to die." Something in his eyes left no room for argument. Mara nodded, tears blurring her vision. "Then thank you." He mounted his horse and, with Mara holding the twins, guided her to his camp, a safe place deep in the woods. There, he tended to her injuries, warmed her body by the fire, and fed her from the provisions he carried. Night fell, but Mara finally slept, knowing for the first time in days she and her children were safe. And when she woke, the warrior was already watching over them, eyes alert, posture protective. Days passed. Kiona's son, Kiona being his mother, a respected leader of his people, taught Mara how to move safely, how to protect herself, and how to nurture the twins. With every passing moment, Mara saw a side of him she had not expected. Gentle, patient, kind, yet powerful enough to fight any threat that might come near. One evening, Mara stood by the river, washing the bobbies' small bodies. The warrior approached quietly and stood beside her. "They are strong," he said, "and so are you." Mara looked up at him. "I don't know how I can ever repay you." "You do not owe me anything," he said softly. "But there is one thing I ask. Stay with us. Let me call you family. Let me call you mine." Her heart raced. This was not just protection. This was an offer of love, of belonging. She had been abandoned by the world, left to survive alone. But here, in the arms of someone who had risked everything for her and the twins, she could finally believe in a future. I will stay," she whispered. The warrior smiled, a rare softness crossing his features. "Then you are home." In the weeks that followed, Mara healed. The twins thrived, laughing and reaching for the sky. The warrior stood ever near, guiding, teaching, loving. And Mara, who had been abandoned and broken, discovered the strength within herself and the courage to love again. The prairie was vast, wild, and often cruel. But in the shelter of the warrior who called her his own, Mara and her children were finally safe. And in that safety, they found something even more precious: family, belonging, and hope. When the sun rose one morning, the warrior handed Mara a small, carved amulet. "For you," he said, "a reminder, you are mine and these children are ours always." Tears filled her eyes as she took it. "Always," she repeated. And in that moment, Mara understood. Though the world had left her wounded, she had been given something greater than she had ever dreamed: love, protection, and a warrior who would call her and her twins his own forever.